Can you state your name and where you're from?
My name is Derek King, but my nickname is DK. That's what everyone calls me, and I'm from Los Angeles, California, born and raised.
In Los Angeles your whole life then?
My whole life.
Okay.
Well, I went to go live with my father when I was 9. He decided he wanted to try to be a father, so I was in Oakland, California for a few years.
Okay, nice. And so,
in San Francisco.
How long have you been living on the streets for in Venice?
About 2.5, going on 3 years.
2.5, going on 3 years, okay. And what were you doing before that?
Well, I was working at Leica, and then I got laid off, and then I went freelance.
Okay.
And then I started driving for Uber because they allow you to set your own schedule. So whenever I get a photography booking, I can just book it and work around that schedule, you know, because you don't have anybody giving you your hours. You make your own hours.
Is this the first time you have ever been homeless?
Well, yeah, I had a photo shoot scheduled with this girl at the Spring Hill Suite Hotel in Irvine, and when I finished, I went down to my car, put my equipment away, and my car was gone. So that kind of...
And they never found out who stole your car either?
Yeah, they found out some girl stole it, her and her girlfriend, but they hit a curve, like a real deep curve, and they totaled the car, you know. And
so were you not able to get any money because they found the people?
Well, yeah, because it wasn't an accident. If it was a car accident, then I could have sued, but I wasn't in the car. They stole it and totaled it, you know, so it was a different situation.
So there was nothing that you can get from them?
No, it was nothing I can get from them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
And
because I was leasing the car through Uber. It was like a brand new Camry, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And so before that, I was looking for a cheaper place because I had got laid off and couldn't find a job making what I was making like fast enough at the time. And so I said, I got to find a cheaper place. And I had lived there for like 12, 13 years, and I was unaware that the rent had gone up extremely high. So I said, wow, I can't afford that. So then I did the photo shoot at the Spring Hill Suite Hotel in Irvine. And after it was over, I went down to my car, and my car was gone. That's kind of like how my homelessness started, because I didn't have a car anymore, and then I had moved out of my place because I got laid off.
Yeah.
You know, and that's happened to a lot of people because of the pandemic, quarantine, coronavirus. I've seen a lot of people go from living from paycheck to paycheck, okay, and then go to living in their car because they can't afford to pay rent anymore, and then they would come to me and say, hey, listen, I'm homeless, what do I do? So then I would help them, you know, and they'd say, well, you need to get a tent, especially if you're a girl. You don't want to be out sleeping out in the open because it's dangerous, you know, especially if you're, you know, female, and if you're an attractive female, it's even more dangerous.
Yeah. So for men sleeping outside of a tent, is it still dangerous?
Well, yeah, in terms of getting robbed, because then they can see what you have. They'll take your shoes, they'll take your backpack.
Yeah.
If you are out cold, you know, if you're not a light sleeper, they'll take anything they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that happen before?
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Okay.
That's happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now, since that's happened to you, now you have a tent that you sleep in?
Oh, yeah.
And does any robberies happen within people's tents? Do people come in people's tents to try to rob things?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it does. You know, it hasn't happened to me, but I'm sure it does.
Since you've been homeless for about, you said 2.5 years now?
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that you were homeless right before the pandemic started?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And since the pandemic started, has there been a lot more homeless people that you've seen?
Yeah, I was reading on Google one day when I was just doing some research. Last year, 1 million Californians left California and went to Texas because they can't not afford to live here anymore because the cost of living is just ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just not just the rent. That is everything.
Yeah.
You know, food, utilities, you know, everything.
Wow.
Gas, clothing, everything.
So what do you think would be a solution to the homeless problem that's in Venice right now to help people be able to get housed and have their own places, their own resources inside? What do you think the solution is?
Well, I think the solution is, I think you have to make sure that these people are going to be functional, okay, in their own place and going to be able to maintain their own place. So I think they have to be put through like a series of tests to show and demonstrate that they can maintain their new place, their own place, and that they won't get kicked out because of their mental health issues, and that they will, you know, take their medication on time and scheduled, you know, because you can, if you miss your medication for a week or 2 weeks, you can wind up going 5150, which is like completely where the wagon has to come get you, you know, the paddy wagon. So that's one thing that they need to really enforce, is to make sure that people they're giving these permanent housing vouchers to have the ability to maintain their you know, their situation, manage themselves, you know what I'm saying?
You feel like most people that are homeless are able to do that?
No, there are a lot of people that are homeless that have they have a lot of severe psychological disorders, you know,
How do you deal with
paranoid
those
delusion,
people?
manic depressant. I mean, it's bad. I've seen it. I'm like, oh my God, it's bad.
How do you deal with those people if I'm sure you're coming across them every day?
Yeah, I've come across them even in the bike business, and I got hit in the head with a 5-pound hammer once because of someone who had, you know, some severe problems, and I've had it happen twice. I got hit in the head twice. The first time I knocked unconscious, wind up in St. Joseph Hospital in Orange County, city of Orange, for 2 weeks. So there are some people that have lost it, and they never will probably recover because of it's not practical for, you know, all these people to be able to get help. You know what I mean? It's because there's too many.
Before you were ever homeless, how did you look at homeless people? How did you see them?
Well, you know, I was always too busy for them, and you know, it was like annoying when they would try to stop me.
Yeah.
You know, and I would just, you know, sometimes you know, if it was convenient, I'd give them a couple of dollars, but if it wasn't convenient and I was in a hurry, I would kind of just like brush them off.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't, you know, very kind, let's say, or patient with them.
Yeah. And how do you look at homeless people now?
Well, now it's a totally different situation, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me as a homeless person, and I mean, I had this one lady give me a $2,000 mattress that was, you know, I guess she decided she didn't want it anymore. It was still in the plastic. I've had people give me $300 pair of Nikes and food and all kinds of really nice clothing and shoes and jackets and everything. Like that gentleman that was talking, that said something to me a couple of minutes ago that walked by, he's a member of Gold's Gym. One day he walked up to me about 3 weeks ago and says, hey, listen, my name is so-and-so, and I just want to know, is there anything you need? And I go, like what? Like anything. And I said, well, I could use some candles and some, you know, lights for inside the tent. I could use some cereal bowls and some blankets and pillows, and everything that I asked him for, he brought. Like every week that he would come, he would ask me what I need. I guess he has a storage unit with a lot of extra things. Wow. You know, I think he works. I think he has his own security company. Wow. Yeah. So, yeah. That's nice.
That's really nice of him.
Yeah. And then another gentleman, he's also a member. Gold's Gym. He gave me $180 one day. Wow. You know, yeah.
That's what happens when you're near one of the richest gyms in the world, huh?
Yeah.
Since you've been homeless, have you always resided in Venice?
No, I've been in West LA. I've been in Westwood and Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I started in Orange County.
Do you like Venice the best?
I would say so, because, you know, Orange County, I didn't really, you know Orange County that well, and, you know, it's, you know, there's a lot of upper middle class people there, and laws are different. You know, Venice is like a hippie town, you know, and so things are a lot more liberal here and more loose and casual.
Why Venice you feel like is the best place to be out here, to be homeless, and why do you think everybody since COVID has started has come down here? Why is this such a good place?
Well, I mean, it's the beach. I mean, you know, it's like the ocean is beautiful. The boardwalk is very, very lively and festive and visually entertaining. You know.
Yeah.
And they have the drum circle. They have all these different vendors where they can exhibit their art. There's a lot of very talented artists that are homeless.
Yeah.
And then there's people that know how to make jewelry. They know how to make crafts. They know how to make T-shirts. They know how to make clothes, like all kinds of very creative stuff. So, you know, it's
the best place to be for creative.
I mean, 300. I think it's 375,000 people travel through the boardwalk every year. You know, and that's a lot of people, and it's because of all the sideshows and all the people that are exhibiting their talent, their art, their music. And there's even photography. There's some vendor squares that have photography that they're selling in frames, and you know, and clothing as well. Some people, they know how to make, you know, really, really creative and really marketable clothes and sell them on the boardwalk to people from all over the world. Yeah.
So what does a typical day for you look like?
Well, you know, when I wake up right away, people start calling my name because they need their flat tire on their bike fixed, or they need a new seat, or they need new handlebars, or the gears or brakes are not working well, and so it just starts like right away. You know what I mean? Just one after another. You know.
So you're the bike mechanic.
Yeah.
But what do you charge for these people to fix these people's bikes?
Well, anywhere from $5 to $30. It depends on what it is. Like if it's a, say, like they need a new chain, $20. If they want new matching tires, that would be probably another $20 or $30. It kind of depends. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So it's just all based on what they need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. So are you a bike mechanic then?
Yeah, and then I also do sales. I sell them as well.
Okay.
I restore them and then sell them.
Okay.
New and used. Yeah. Like
and a photographer as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
when I was a kid, you know, our parents didn't have much money, so we all had BMXs when I was a kid. So we would exchange each other's bike parts, and then paint our bike a new color, so then we'd say we have a new bike. You know, it's like swimming, you never forget. So when I came down here and I saw how big the bike business, I said, well, I can do that. I worked on bikes when I was 12 years old. You know, so, you know.
And you worked with photography as well?
Oh, yeah, I did that. I got the bug from having the agency because a lot of photographers wanted to shoot at my house because of my interior design skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been into photography for?
Probably about 4 years.
One would say, I'm sure people that are watching this, if you have, you know, these skills with bikes and this skills with photography, why are you homeless at this point?
Well, like I said, when I got laid off at a very inopportune time. And I had a lot of obligations and bills, and it hit me by surprise. And I wasn't able to find, like I said, another job paying what I was making at the time. And so, I mean, my rent alone was like almost $1,500, you know, and I had a car and, you know, and other bills as well. I had to, you know, look for a cheaper place, and I wasn't able to find one within the budget.
Since you've been homeless, then you've been working on bikes pretty much throughout the whole time?
Yeah, waiting for my permanent housing voucher so that I can replace all my camera equipment, and I don't have to worry about it getting stolen, because then I would be in a permanent residence place. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure your camera equipment is safe now?
Well, I just got this camera, and it was a gift like last week. So I just make sure I keep it in my backpack, and I always, you know, I always have this like backpack on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I cannot lose this camera. Yeah.
So anything valuable to you, if you're not where your belongings are, like your tent, you always have anything that you really need, you always have that on you.
Well, okay, like what I've learned is if you are fortunate enough to meet people that are in your environment that are honest and trustworthy like yourself, you want to live around those people, because then we look after each other, kind of like a neighborhood watch, you know what I'm saying? So I've had that happen when I've lived in neighborhoods or lived on areas where I didn't know the people, you know, but everyone here, we know each other very well, and we look after each other, you know.
So if somebody's gone, the other person's going to be looking after their stuff and making sure everything's safe.
Exactly. And if I see somebody go in his tent, Kyle, Kyle's a really good friend of mine. He used to work for me when my ex-girlfriend and I were together, and I say, hey, you know, Kyle's not here, you know, come back later, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And then I know all of his friends, you know, and there's a few that he'll allow to come into his place when he's not there, and I know who they are, you know, like that. Although I'm homeless, a lot of the people that I'm in this environment with, they look at me differently because of, you know, the way I speak, because of my intelligence and education. And
if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tell a friend, tell your mama, tell your uncle, do the same. These are palm trees as always.